And hello, everybody, and welcome back to the only single-player podcast for March 23rd of the year 2015. I'm Justin. With me is Shauna and Reagan.
Hello.
Hi.
Nice. Good hellos. And it's a podcast. Welcome. Hello. Again. We should just have awkward...
awkward
hellos with which each
I think if there's anything that could improve this podcast, it's more terribly awkward silences.
No, like I definitely think so. Like we have intro, we have like it's hard to segue from an intro to like a topic. Mm-hmm. It's like, all right, hey everybody, let's talk about.
How about that PS4?
How about that PS4? You play that game recently? No, let's not do that. All right, what have you guys been playing? I'll go first. I've been playing Dragon Age still. I mentioned last time I got Dragon Age Inquisition. I'm really bad because I play RPGs a lot too much, too much. And so I mentioned a few podcasts ago I got Witcher 2. And I played Witcher 2 like 5 times in a row or something like that. Mm-hmm. So now I've done the same thing with Inquisition, pretty much. But I have like 3 campaigns going on at the same time, like 3 single players, because you can make characters and do save files and all that crap.
Right.
So now I have like 3 going on at the same time, just cause. And I'm playing multiplayer. The multiplayer on the Inquisition is pretty fun. It's like kind of like a dungeon crawler, co-op. But yeah, that, and I'm gonna be playing White Knight again. It's a scary game. I don't play horror games, so
I'm with you on that.
Too spooky. But yeah, I'm going to play White Knight and put it up on the channel. Our little Let's Play.
I've been playing Dark Souls again.
Nice. I'm still in the middle of freaking Dark Souls 2. I have to fight, I don't even remember who the boss I'm stuck on, but I'm working on it.
Dark Souls 2 is probably the best disappointment I've ever played.
That's good.
Yeah. But,
wow.
I'm working on a... I mean, it's a good game, but there are problems with it.
Right.
But
I understand.
I'm working on a long form review of Dark Souls where I go like really in depth on all the levels and the level design and the enemy design and why they did what they did and stuff.
That's cool.
So I'm playing through it and taking notes and watching other people play and taking notes on the lore. I've edited about an hour worth of video at this point.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's gonna be long and a pain in the ass, but. I don't know.
I love big projects.
Yeah, they're fun.
It's worth. Sean, have you been playing anything?
What little I can play, I've been playing Trove. So.
I keep after you mentioned it the first time, I keep wanting to try it out.
It's really addicting. It's stupid addicting.
I bet so.
And they keep doing really good updates. Like, it's a good game despite it being voxel and all that.
What game are we talking about?
Trove.
Trove. I don't think I've heard of it.
It's the people who did Arcade and a bunch of other cool stuff.
All right.
I feel really bad for not knowing at the moment.
Oh, I think you mentioned
it's like a voxel-based MMO.
Yeah, it's a voxel-based MMO, exactly.
Gotcha.
Oh, okay.
They keep releasing. It's like Achievement Horror Central. Like, there's all these mounts that you can get and all of these crafting materials.
I'm into it already.
And, like, the point of the game right now is to get your mastery level to 100 so you get a golden name, like, every time you type to somebody.
I'm in love already. That's my thing. That's my fetish.
No, this is my jam right now.
Golden names. All right.
I've been so...
Titles.
Busy, exactly. I've been so busy with, like, doing the whole moving process and finding jobs and stuff like that, that I haven't played Trove in a couple of weeks. Well, it punishes you because they release new content very frequently. And they released 2 new mounts, and they're elephants. And I was so excited. I got on to try to find them, and my friends who know I love elephants, they were like, hey, I got a surprise, and gave me the mounts without me having to do anything. So I was like, yes.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas.
But that's really all I've been doing.
That's fine. To sort of segue into releases, I'm trying to keep myself from buying Elder Scrolls Online right now. Because it did just release the 17th last Tuesday. Mm-hmm. It released the free-to-play version,
right? Which
is you just pay one price, like $60, you get the game, and you're good. No subscription. But I've been trying to keep myself from doing that.
Honestly, you can borrow my account.
I can hit you up. I'm not interested in an MMO. I'm just interested in the Elder Scrolls game, basically. I mean, it's got to be a good Elder Scrolls game, regardless. Or not. I don't know. But
I can't say anything. But yeah, I haven't gotten on Elder Scrolls since right after beta and where I couldn't handle it anymore and quit. So I'll try it again and get back to you on that, because as far as an Elder Scrolls game is concerned, it was okay. It started okay as an Elder Scrolls. As an MMO, it did not. But I heard it got a lot better, so I'll give it a second chance to let you guys know.
You know, I'm pretty interested in it because it's that they're winding up to their console release too, which is pretty interesting because they're gonna release Elder Scrolls Online on PS4 and Xbox One. And
yeah, I'd like to see how that turns out.
It's probably not going to turn out well because
no,
I don't think there's been an MMO that succeeded on console yet.
They say Divinity is
Final
an
Fantasy,
MMO?
I think 12 or 11. I don't know. There was a Final Fantasy MMO that did all right.
Defiance did okay for like. A
Defiance, not Divinity.
Yeah, I had Defiance, but there's like no gameplay in Defiance. It's just shoot.
Yeah.
And drive. So, but yeah, I've been wanting to pick up Elder Scrolls. Maybe I will eventually, just because I'm a huge Elder Scrolls nut. So it should be worthwhile.
Yeah, I mean, it's got a lot of content. So I mean.
Yeah, it'll. I just need a time waster, pretty much.
Oh, that'll do it, I think.
Good. I'll go through some of the bigger releases that have released the past few weeks. Hotline Miami 2 on the 10th. You've been playing it, Reagan?
Yeah. I forgot about that. I played a little bit of that when it first came out.
It's pretty good. Soundtrack's good.
Yep.
Last Tuesday, the 17th, Battlefield Hardline came out, which I actually enjoy it a lot. I got it because I got it sort of discount. But it's good. I haven't played Battlefield 4. A lot of people are saying that it's just like a reskin Battlefield 4.
That's what I heard. The main complaint is that it just feels like Battlefield 4 DLC.
Yeah, but it's got a lot of good. Like I haven't played Battlefield 4, but it's got a lot of good gameplay mechanics. Like you can have grappling hooks and like zip lines and stuff. That really mixes things up. That makes things a lot different each time you play multiplayer matches. Then the new game modes like Heist is really fun. Like they're like you have to get an item, you have to break into a place, get an item, then bring it back to a place, and it can be different because you can go about. There are different ways to go about it and whatever, but it's pretty fun. Battlefield Hardline, I would definitely recommend it to first-person shooter fans. The Resident Evil Revelations 2 full retail came out on the 17th. That's their Resident Evil like episodic game sort of. That's been doing pretty well. It doesn't have co-op, but apparently they're supposed to get co-op soon.
There's a mod for it.
Okay, I would expect so, but
there's a mod for split screen co-op on PC, but it's getting put into the game officially pretty soon here, I think.
Yeah, it just should have shipped. It should have shipped with co-op, to be honest.
Yeah, well, they said it would, and on the Steam front page it said local co-op,
really?
And it didn't have it.
That sucks.
Can we have a new segment called "There's a mod for that"?
Yeah. I'm down with that.
I just like that.
Do you want Thomas the Tank Engine as a dragon? There's a mod for
There's
that.
a mod for
Yeah.
Well, that's one of my favorite mods for Skyrim.
I was about to say, that sounds like a Skyrim mod.
It turns every dragon in Skyrim, including Alduin, into Thomas the Tank Engine. So in the intro beginning, I'm sure people have seen, there's tons of videos, but the intro scene of Skyrim, when you're on the chopping block and everything, and then Alduin shows up. Nope, it's Thomas the Tank Engine with choo-choos and everything. It's pretty great. It's pretty great. There's a mod for that.
People like to remix the Thomas the Tank Engine theme with like hardcore hip hop. I enjoy that thoroughly.
Mashups.
Yeah, there's one of Death Grips that's really awesome. It's great.
That sounds amazing. That sounds as good as the Space Jam mashups.
Oh my god.
Yeah, there's a Death Grips one for that too.
Good. Some other big releases was the Final Fantasy Typo HD. That's what a lot of people have been joking about. It's a typo.
I didn't even catch that.
So Final Fantasy Typo HD, and that does include. I don't know if the demo's live already, but
It is.
will include. Okay, it does include the Final Fantasy 15 demo, which is basically why people are buying it.
I heard it was long.
The demo or the
The demo, like, you know how demos are really short and like they
Yeah.
don't really fulfill anything. I heard this one's like pretty good.
That's
I'm
good.
sure that says something about the game itself.
Yeah.
Probably the game's probably long as well.
Well, they did the same thing with Metal Gear Solid 2 and Zone of the Enders. If you got Zone of the Enders, it came with like the entire tanker chapter in Metal Gear Solid 2.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And other big releases, of course, Elder Scrolls, Tales from the Borderlands Episode 2, Telltale game, and Mario Party 10 came out on the 20th.
I hate Mario
definitely-
Party with a fiery passion.
Well,
Yeah,
What
well.
else is new?
add that to the list.
Yeah.
I enjoyed
Reagan's
Mario Party.
bad choices.
I haven't played.
Yeah.
I haven't played a new Mario Party in ages, but I enjoyed them when I played them way a long time ago.
I think my favorite was 2.
The Bowser
I don't
Party
think I
thing
played
looks pretty
2.
cool. Where like one
It's,
player can be Bowser or whatever.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that looked interesting.
Yeah. I'll when I get my Wii U, I'll definitely get Mario Party 10. Heck yeah, I'll play it.
Yeah, I will too. Yeah.
It has the worst cover art I've ever seen ever.
Yeah,
I will say that
I will
much.
agree with you on that one.
It's the worst.
It's so bad.
I don't think I've seen it. I'm gonna pull it up.
It's so cluttered. Oh, it's really bad, Justin.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's pretty chaotic.
It's really bad. I mean, okay, I get you. I see what.
I
You're
mean, I
saying.
wouldn't say it's bad. It's just it's new.
I see what you're
There's
saying.
way,
Wii U
way too
controller
much
and
happening.
there's a lot of
My
balloons.
inner graphic designer is crying.
Well, I'm sorry. You can write them a nasty worded letter some other time.
I'm good.
But there's a few, not a lot of big games. Not a lot of big games. I mean, there's Bloodborne. There's not a lot of big games coming out. On Tuesday, the 24th, there's the Slender Arrival, which is the PC Slender.
Oh,
Fantastically scary game. Coming out on Xbox One and PS4. So if you want to pitch yourself from fear,
that game's YouTube bait. So
yeah, it is.
much
It is.
YouTube
It was
bait.
like it was like the one of the first YouTube baits.
It was.
And
Well,
then-
it was riding on Slender's coattails, and Slender was one of the first
right.
YouTube baits. Yeah.
But yeah, if you wanna get big on YouTube, pick that up on Xbox One and
There you
PS4.
go. And record
there you go.
yourself overreacting into a camera. It'll work great.
There you go. Also on that day, Tuesday, 24th, Borderlands Handsome Collection, which does include Borderlands 2 and what's it called? Pre-sequel?
Yeah,
Is that it?
prequel.
Is that what it's
Or,
called?
yeah, no, it's the pre-sequel.
And DLC? Yeah, pre-sequel and DLC for both those games, I think.
Oh, before I forget, I saw a really funny video, speaking of YouTube bait. Someone took like a PewDiePie video of him playing a scary game and like freaking out unnecessarily and pitched it down so his voice sounded like normal. And you could see just how ridiculous it was. It was really funny.
Yeah, I mean that is their job. You know,
Yeah.
they have to
They have
gotta
to
put on a face.
pander to all the 12-year-olds.
But yeah, the Borderlands collection coming out. The Borderlands forum just went up today of you2 talking about why you like and don't like Borderlands. I don't really like Borderlands either, to be honest with you. So I'm on Team Reagan. I like the first Borderlands. I didn't like the second
Shame
Borderlands.
on you.
I haven't played pre-sequel, but I like the first one. For me, if we want to talk about it a little bit, for me, because I was editing today and thinking about it. For me, I liked Borderlands 1 because it was just like a fun little, stupid little shooter RPG, fun gameplay. But in Borderlands 2, they were like way more story heavy, which I mean I like. That's a good thing. But it just wasn't like Borderlands 1 enough for me to like it. I don't know. That doesn't make sense, but it's okay.
The problem with games like that is they keep switching writers. And of course,
Yeah.
the flow of a game is going to change based on the writer. Granted,
Yeah.
Borderlands 2 was my first Borderlands game, so I like Birch better than I like the other writer.
Gotcha.
So it's
Well, and
like,
the other problem I have with all these story-driven games, people think I hate story in games. I don't. I just don't like games that just
Have
make
story
you
in it.
sit and watch a story. No,
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
games that use like their mechanics to tell the story. Like,
Right, I see what you're saying.
if-
Like, you don't like cinematic.
Right. If either of you have played Spec Ops: The Line, you'll know what I'm talking about.
It's a good game. It's
Yeah.
a good game. Yeah. So Borderlands coming out. They just. Why didn't they put the first game in there?
I don't know. Like, I'm with you
I
on
mean,
that. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know if they're planning on something. I don't know if they think Borderlands is just too old now. I don't know.
My guess is that Borderlands 2 and pre-sequel are both in the same engine. So my guess is there was some issue bringing up the previous engine. That would be my
That's a
guess.
good point. I
That
feel like they
actually
wouldn't.
might, yeah.
I feel like they wouldn't exclude it if they didn't have a reason to. You know,
Right.
I feel like they'd lump it in there for why not.
Mhm.
And of course, the other biggest release coming out this Tuesday is Bloodborne. Dark Souls 3?
More or less. Same director.
They're coming out on PS4 exclusive. That's gonna bring on some hype. I'm definitely excited to see people get upset. My favorite little shout out to the Funhouse. They're previously Inside Gaming. They do a lot of drunk gameplays. Like if they mess up, they'll drink, take a shot, and
Yeah.
I'm like very excited to see them play Bloodborne.
Oh my gosh.
And so Bloodborne. Are you gonna be picking it up?
Oh,
like
of
day
course,
one?
yes.
Cool. I'm excited to hear what you think about it and
Yeah.
stuff, and how it is. Maybe we could get some videos of it on the channel.
Perhaps. I don't know if I have a way to. Yeah, I can ring it up.
Will you be drinking?
No.
Dang it.
You should. We can all drink. It's fine.
Yes.
But a cool thing that happened with Bloodborne was that over in Denmark, they had this big like campaign between an organization called I'm gonna say it wrong. It's basically Give Blood, but it's GIVBOLD. That's how it's spelled. But I guess it's give blood. But
Yes.
it was between Give Blood and of course Sony, and they had in Denmark you can donate blood on the 23rd, which is actually the day that this podcast is going to come out, hopefully. And if you go give blood, you can win a chance. You can have a chance to win your own copy of Bloodborne. And I thought it was pretty cool.
It is. It is a cool idea.
I just mentioned it.
Well, I'm sure it's going to get tons of people too, so it's a great idea. Good.
Oh, yeah.
Good marketing stroke
that blood.
on their part. Yep. Plus, donating blood's always a good cause, and you can get a good game for free from it. So
Absolutely.
there you go.
Except freaking American Red Cross has not left me alone since
Yeah.
I gave blood that one time a couple years ago.
They always
Don't stop calling me.
They always had it in my high school, so I know they got a lot that way because there was really no reason to do it, and you could get out of class
Yeah,
to
got
go
it,
donate
exactly.
blood. So I know tons of people did it.
Yeah, I did it once, and I don't exactly know what type of blood I have, but they really want it, so
Yeah.
I've blocked 2 of their numbers so far.
Oh my goodness.
Nice.
But they still want more, so it's whatever.
Huh? You must have a rare blood type then. That's interesting.
Something, I don't know. But if you're in Denmark today, hopefully today, go give blood and get Bloodborne.
Yeah. And the other big piece of news I kind of wanted to talk about was Kojima and his sort of falling out with
That was huge.
Konami. Yeah, it was a big deal, and we still haven't really gotten any confirmation on what exactly is happening. We know the basics, but yeah.
So how about you explain exactly what happened here?
Basically, one day I think it was I don't know. I want to say like Wednesday, maybe Thursday. All of the marketing materials for Metal Gear Solid 5, Kojima's name just suddenly disappeared off of. The posters, the cover, it all said like a Hideo Kojima game, and that's all gone. It was removed. So people were wondering what was going on, and apparently Kojima and Konami had some big falling out. Kojima Studios is no longer associated with Konami. They're working as a contract, on contract basis, and then once Metal Gear Solid 5 is done, the studio is going to be closed, and I guess some key employees at Kojima Studios are going to be brought into a central in-house development team at Konami, and Kojima himself is leaving Konami. Nobody's confirmed like what exactly went wrong or what caused this. He has confirmed that he is finishing Metal Gear Solid 5 on a contract basis. The other big thing is nobody knows what's happening to Silent Hills now. That's completely up in the air.
Of course, the first thing of that we saw was PT, the demo.
Mm-hmm. And they haven't confirmed anything going on with that, so nobody knows what's up with that. And nobody knows exactly what prompted this, but my guess is that he didn't even want to make Metal Gear Solid 2. Like, he considered the series done at Metal Gear Solid. So he's been trying to get out of making the series for literally decades now. So I think, I mean, he's spent over half of his life working on the series, and he's getting close to that age where it's time for him to retire. So I think he wants to do something different. And my guess is Konami saw what a big success Metal Gear Solid 5 is looking to be, and we're trying to negotiate something with Metal Gear Solid 6 or another entry in the series. And they got kind of pushy, and he got pissed off and blew up in their face. That's my 2 cents, at least.
That's sort of how I figured it. Of course, this is all speculation. Don't take this as fact. That's sort of what I thought, too. Is like there was some kind of discussion going on that got out of hand.
Yeah.
And now they're gone. Because this doesn't seem like some sort of amicable separation. Like
no.
Some anger going on.
Yeah, definitely. If it was just a clean split, I really don't think they would have taken his name off of all the press materials.
Now, speaking of that, legality reasons, what is that legal to do that? I mean, it's his game.
Yeah, because he doesn't actually own the trademark on the series.
Right, but I do believe he owns Silent Hill. I'm not sure.
No. Silent Hill.
That's Konami. That's Konami too.
Yeah, they own all that.
Okay, gotcha. But he's rich, so he can do whatever he wants.
Oh yeah,
I know, but still, I mean, give credit where credit is due. It doesn't.
You're right.
Like,
yeah, he'll get picked up by somebody, but it just goes to show even further how just idiotic the upper management at Konami is, because they've been absolutely fumbling every major release they've done for the last 3 years, and now they're removing their big star player from the company over what was probably some petty contract negotiation.
I mean, it's better for him then in the end. Really.
No, it is, and I don't blame him at all for what he's doing. I'd want to get out too if I was him. And I honestly think it'll be better for the Metal Gear Solid series in general. Konami's also confirmed that they will continue working on the Metal Gear Solid series, by the way.
Okay.
And I think it'll be better for the series to have a new director, because when you've been directing the same series for 30 years, you're going to get bored, you're going to get
especially
sloppy.
if you didn't want to. Like,
right, you're going to do some weird stuff.
A fresh take would be awesome.
Definitely.
Like a reboot.
Yeah, definitely. So we'll just have to wait and see what comes of that.
Yeah. I've seen enough Batman films to be anticipated for what.
Do not diss the '90s Batmans. We're gonna have some issues.
I'm not. I'm saying there's been enough Batman reboots.
Yeah.
Enough good Batmans. But yeah, that's pretty big news, and we'll see. Like you said. Real thing I wanted to mention. Nothing too big. We've mentioned H1Z1 before and how it's crap and everything, but
and guess what?
They're causing some more commotion. Now, before we get into this story, H1Z1 is still in early access. I think it's still priced $30 or something. It does still have in-game transactions. But now it's got a subscription service.
Yay!
Not exactly. So there's this new mode called Battle Royale. Apparently, it's really fun. But the developers, Daybreak, they decided to offer a monthly pass for Battle Royale, which is this game mode within H1Z1. I don't know exactly what it's about. I haven't played the game.
Is it based on the film Battle Royale?
I can only hope so.
That would be pretty sweet.
But they decided to offer a monthly pass for $6.99 US. Everything else aside for the game mode, everything else, nothing matters. Like, that's the story, done, cut. Why would you do that?
Yeah.
It's an early access game.
Yeah, they're just shooting themselves in the foot over and over. I can't imagine who at that company thought that this would generate anything but negative publicity.
Yeah, like, this game mode could be really fun, and I get that they might need to, like, restrict the people using it, maybe, because of servers or whatever. But I mean, come on.
Yeah, I mean, even that's not an excuse. When
that's not cool.
Like with a Halo game, Halo 3 had like new game types they would have like a new featured game type every month. They never charged for that.
You're
Call
right.
of Duty adds new game types consistently with DLC. They never, beyond buying the actual maps, they don't charge a subscription to play certain game modes. It's just, with all the controversy and all the grubby business practices it's already generated, just adding one more to the pile just seems suicidal to me.
Yeah. As a quote from Smedley, who's the president of Daybreak, he said, "It's coming in the next few days. We are seeing much higher usage of BR, Battle Royale, and we're very excited about it and wanted to offer an alternative to event tickets. So my understanding for this mode is that you can't just do this mode whenever. You have to like stumble upon it, basically, like it's like a loot drop or something.
Okay.
And then you get like a ticket to do the mode. This is basically my understanding.
Okay.
So it's less of a monthly pass, more of another microtransaction, essentially. But it's just like completely unnecessary.
Yeah.
That just sounds like a hot mess.
For an early access game that you had to pay for to begin with.
Yeah, and as the developer, like if you see that your game has gotten all this negative publicity, and there's this one mode that's really popular that you can only get through loot drops, release that as a free game mode to generate some positive publicity.
Mm-hmm.
That would be the smart move, but instead they're just generating more by charging extra. It's
yeah. I mean, I got to give it to them because they've been sticking to their guns for most of this controversy since launch. Like they defended their transactions, they've stuck with it. So I mean, at least they have a good idea of what they want to do.
I guess that's
following
one
through.
way.
I guess.
I mean, if nobody's playing your game, then you're not going to get there. So
yeah,
sorry, not sorry. But if you're still playing H1Z1 and enjoying it, and you feel like you want to do these microtransactions, multi-sub pass, go ahead. I mean, I don't care. You do you, boo. But I'm not, and a lot of other people aren't, because come on, it's early access. I don't know if the game works or not as well as a released game, but we'll see. I don't know. I think H1Z1 is just gonna get lost like Rust or DayZ.
Yeah, well, and it had so much hype behind it, and it's just shot itself in the foot numerous times, so...
Riven Piece.
Yeah.
Moving on to brighter and better news. Next month is our first look at Star Wars Battlefront.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Ugh!
Did you see the in-engine footage they showed off in the announcement of the announcement?
Yes.
It was pretty sweet. I am very excited.
Ugh.
I try not to get hyped for games, but I mean, it looks awesome.
Yeah, I know. I try not to get hyped either, but you can't not get hyped for this. I've said this before. And I've said this in our forum. Like Star Wars fans, and particularly like hardcore Battlefront fans, never thought they'd get the day that another Battlefront would come out. So
yeah,
it's pretty exciting. So at Star Wars Celebration next month, from April 16th and 19th, the EA will show off. EA and DICE will show off the first what probably just gonna be gameplay of Star Wars Battlefront. This debut gameplay, and it's gonna melt some faces. So that's pretty much all there is on that story. But
have we talked about Nintendo yet?
We haven't.
No.
Okay.
That's a big one.
Yeah. So Nintendo confirmed. After all this time of them saying, no, we'll never do mobile games, they confirmed that they're working on mobile games.
Well, they're not working mobile games.
Yeah, they're going to release mobile games.
Right.
Are they not? Is it through a third party?
They're working with... hang on, I could actually have...
Oh, yeah.
They're working with...
major... Yeah, I remember.
They're working with a mobile developer. I don't know. They'll probably develop with new partnership with DNA or Dina. I don't know.
Right.
DENA, which is a big mobile developer.
Mm-hmm.
So they're gonna put Mario on your phone.
Yeah, and they said they want their first release before the year closes out. So.
Oh.
I mean that means. For a mobile game, that's a long development cycle. So hopefully they're applying that Nintendo.
Probably means it's not gonna be free too. So.
No, of course not. It's Nintendo.
Yeah.
Which I'm fine with. I'm so sick of free games with microtransactions. I'm so okay with pay once and play.
If it's a good mobile game, then I'll pay for it. I mean,
definitely.
I'm not big. I don't really play mobile games, but I get it.
I love mobile games because it's interesting. They do new things. They have new ways to use technology, but there's so much crap. I just can't.
Yeah, there's too many like money making.
Yeah, it's too hard to find a good game to play. Like, one of my favorite games of last year was Threes, and that was a fun game. It was just a little puzzle game, but it was really polished. It was really well designed. But to find it, you had to dig through so much crap. And so hopefully a big name like Nintendo getting on those stores kind of helps with the curation aspect of it.
And it'll probably use the technology in the phones pretty well.
Yeah, definitely.
So they said they're going to be making mobile versions or mobile games that are part of their first-party franchises. So we're going to see Mario, Donkey Kong, Zelda, maybe even a mobile Smash. That'd be
cool. Kirby. I want to see a Kirby game.
Yeah, a mobile Kirby would be awesome. I want to see a mobile Star Fox game.
Oh my god, that would be the best.
Just an R-Wing game, not an adventure game. I can just
that'd be cool.
That'd be cool. So yeah, we'll see that. We'll see what they can do with that. That's interesting. The other bit of Nintendo news is that they're making more consoles.
Some new piece of hardware. They haven't specified what it is, but there's some new piece of hardware they're working on called the Nintendo NX.
Nintendo NX.
And go ahead.
Okay. We don't know what it is. Basically, it could be a new console, could be or new console or new handheld, could be anything.
The new DS.
What people have been postulating, and I kind of agree with this. I think this is probably what it'll be. I think it's going to go one of two ways. I think it's going to be either what most people think it's going to be, which is a Wii U that can play 3DS games, which would be a great move, and I think it's a good idea, and it would work well with the gamepad. I think that's might be what it is, and it would be pretty sweet. Or a Wii U that comes without the gamepad, a Wii U that you could just play with a controller.
Oh, I get you.
Those are the two things I think it's probably going to be.
I
you don't
hope
think it's
so.
going to be anything like new?
No, I don't think
super
so.
New.
I doubt it.
Nintendo has never made that kind of move to where they let their
I guess you're right. It does it does sort of just evolve.
Exactly.
There's no there's no huge switch or something.
And they let it roll out. It takes them a long time to pop out a really good system.
Yeah, and they just stopped producing Wiis 2 years ago. So.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Yeah. Hopefully something that can just. Hopefully something that brings all of Nintendo together. That's what I need. There's too much separation between the Wii U and the Nintendo 3DS.
Agreed. Plus, I want to play some friggin' 3DS games on my TV. That'd be sweet.
That would be sweet.
I was thinking about that when I was playing.
Sony's. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say I was playing Monster Hunter 4 and thinking that I know it does come out. I played Monster Hunter 3 on the TV, but it's playing Monster Hunter 4. It's so pretty, and I'm I just want it on the big screen without having to buy another disc.
And Sony did something similar with their Vita TV, so it wouldn't surprise me in the slightest.
That's true.
Yep, more Nintendo. Another piece of Nintendo news is that they want to make plans for an online membership service.
Oh, I didn't hear about that. Really?
Yeah, I'm actually just reading it right now. Very professional.
There you go.
But it looks like they sort of want to not like Microsoft Gold or Xbox Gold or whatever PlayStation has, PSN or whatever. But
Plus,
it seems
I think it's called
PlayStation's Plus.
Yeah.
But they basically the news is that they want to do that. There's not really any details, but I feel like that'd be super cool actually. I'd pay what, $60 a year. How about that? I'll pay $60 a year and I'll get free Mario games.
Oh, is that what they're doing? More like PS Plus than Xbox Gold?
I don't know. That's what I would want. That's what I feel like they would do. They wouldn't do pay $10 a month or something.
Yeah, well, they don't have enough online games to support that anyway. So,
right. I feel like they're just gonna give you things.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Monthly.
For me, it wouldn't do a whole lot for me because I already have all the Wii U games that I'm interested in. But for other people, that'd be pretty cool.
But yeah, I'm interested to see what they could do. If I can get Mario quicker and faster and pay less, then hell yeah, I'll do it.
Yep.
So that's interesting to see what Nintendo's making moves. They're making moves. They want to get back in the game, and the Smash and all the Mario games that released last fall sort of pushed them. They pushed them, and they're like, oh yeah, let's do this. So hopefully we'll hear some big things from Nintendo this year, and they make cool stuff.
Yeah, I was thinking about the other day how it sucks that Evolve didn't come to the Wii U. Because that could be that would be really cool with local co-op. Have one player using the gamepad as the monster and the other three using a controller. I think that'd be really interesting. But it has like 0 third-party support, so.
Yeah, I don't know how well Evolve would be optimized on that as well.
I think it'd run all right.
Yeah, well, maybe one day.
Yeah,
we'll see it on there.
Well, I wanted to mention this when we were talking H1Z1. But the problem is I can't remember the game all of a sudden. Dying Light? I think that
Dying Light came out in January.
Yes. Has it been brought to anybody's attention that they're making a new hardest level?
No, that's cool.
What do you mean?
Like,
well, they added an update for free that added a harder difficulty. And so they're adding another.
Now they're adding another one.
Is what I've gathered. That's cool.
Oh, that's cool.
So there's no health kits whatsoever. You have to heal on your own. Your weapon and your armor, everything like that breaks super easy. Of course, the zombies are faster and stronger and blah blah blah.
I'm down to clown. I am down to clown with this.
So like it's very interesting and not like it drives me insane because like H1Z1, good or bad, is getting a lot of attention and Dying Light's doing everything right. And like
Dying Light looks like it's
no one's talking about it.
Yeah, they've been really good about supporting the game not only with paid content and like DLC packs that you can buy, but also free content, and that's how you should go about doing DLC.
That's good. They know.
Sorry, I wanted to mention that real quick.
No, that's good. Whenever I get whenever I get a new PC or a next gen console, that's Dying Light's on my list to get because it seems like it's really good. I think Nick did a review for that when that came out. Yeah, it seems really fun, and I'm glad they added more difficulty. I like higher difficulty stuff. I don't like higher difficulty stuff that is too hard. Like they just make the AI harder. I like presenting harder challenges.
Yeah, this seems like they did a little bit of AI work and then like made it, like I said, with like the healing. There's no healing.
Right.
That's the age-old dynamic versus static difficulty debate. Mm-hmm. I much prefer dynamic difficulty.
Oh yeah.
Well, and another good games will have ways to impose dynamic difficulty on yourself, like having lots of room for self-imposed challenges, things like that. Pokemon games are notorious for that.
Yeah.
Dark Souls has a lot of stuff like that too. Stuff like that. It's just an extra layer of difficulty for players who want that to add to it. So
I like things that like Fallout does, where the harder modes in Fallout, you have a hunger bar. Yeah. And you didn't have that easier. That's a whole new mechanic that you didn't have on an easier difficulty. One makes the game hard, and two is another experience. I like that. That's awesome.
Yeah, hardcore mode in New Vegas is pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's cool. What else? So either of you are into fighting games at all?
No.
I'm not either.
I
play Smash. Yeah, I mean I like them. I used to play Killer Instinct all the time.
Are we about to talk about Mortal Kombat?
We are about to talk about
because that is the one fighting game that I am into.
I think I think a lot of people could say that too. Mortal Kombat's sort of like the king of fighting games, pretty much.
Well, it's the king of fighting games for people who don't typically play fighting games.
Yeah, I get you.
Because it's got like the campaign mode in Mortal Kombat 9 was a fantastic idea. That was a great way to ease people into the multiplayer. Like, big kudos on the design of that. That was really cool.
You know, Mortal Kombat's pretty solid all around. Good story too, even if you want that. It's a good story game.
Yeah, it was weird because not only is it one of very few fighting games that has a story mode, it was really a good story mode too.
And we get to see that story continue with Mortal Kombat X, the 10th game. And the biggest piece of news with this is that they recently announced or teased that Jason Voorhees from Friday the 13th and Predator from Predator are playable characters in Mortal Kombat X. Because why the hell not?
If you get the special edition.
Okay. So they're pre-ordered.
Well, it's not even pre-order. There's like 5 different editions of the game, and all of them except the most basic one come with it. Or you can buy the combat pack, which comes with Jason, Predator, and 2 other Mortal Kombat characters that I forget for $30.
Oh, that's not bad. I like that. Characters are good. Special bonuses. They're not DLC.
$30 seems a little steep, but it's still cool.
Yeah, I just thought they were pulling like a Soul Calibur and just throwing in random characters.
Kind of, yeah. Well, they did
Pretty
that with Freddy Krueger in MK9 too.
Right.
So
yeah, I forgot about that. You know, I would love to keep Cass as Predator.
Yeah, my prediction was completely off because when they announced Jason, they said there would be 3 other characters in the combat pack, 2 from Mortal Kombat, 1 not. And I wrote a news article about it saying that it'd probably be from some other horror franchise since they did Freddy Krueger and then Jason.
Right.
So my guess was that it would be Michael Myers or Pinhead. And I was very wrong.
Yes.
Yeah, Michael Myers, wouldn't that be sweet?
I'd like a Pinhead.
I was thinking
That'd be
Pinhead,
cool,
yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking Pinhead too. But yeah, Michael Myers would just wreck everybody. That's exciting.
He'd
That's
have
cool
the
to see.
coolest brutality, probably.
That reminds me of what Call of Duty Ghosts you could play as Jason.
Predator.
I think it was Jason.
No, it was Predator.
It was Predator.
Yep. It was in their
that
crappy.
DLC map.
It was in their crappy extinction mode, but it was still interesting.
Oh no, you could do it in multiplayer games too. Like I don't know if it was Predator. Oh, it was somebody. I think it was Jason because they had a swampy. They had in one of the DLC maps. You could like turn into Jason if you scored enough points or some shit. I don't know. I didn't play Call of Duty.
I didn't play Ghosts because it had terrible map design.
Yeah, no, Ghost was all around terrible.
Yeah, the maps
there's
are
no doubt about that.
Way too big. In fact, I was kind of bored today, and I was messing around on my computer, and I was like, I kind of feel like playing Call of Duty. So I booted up Advanced Warfare, and of course the servers were down. So I was like, well, Ghost is the only other one I have installed. So I played one match and was like, yeah, I can't do it.
No, I still go back to COD 4 and MW2 very, very often.
I wish they were still active on PC.
I can remember all the hype about Ghosts and on E3 and
Ugh.
and I was just like, this is going to be bad, and I was right.
It was bad.
That's how I was when the first Black Ops came out, because I was back at that time I was a big Call of Duty fan. It's like me and my friends played it all the time, and we were just playing MW2 and Black Ops started getting hype, and I was like, I don't know about that. I don't know about Black Ops. I think that's gonna be bad, and I'm not gonna like it. And sure enough, I didn't like it.
I like Black Ops. The only Call of Duty games I don't like are Ghosts and Call of Duty 3.
Yeah, I don't like Ghosts.
Ghosts
I appreciate.
sucks.
I just like 3 for the wrap up story. That's all I care about. For the Modern Warfare story.
No, I don't mean Modern Warfare 3. I mean Call of Duty 3.
Oh, Call of Duty 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't play that one. I played Big Red one.
That's a good one. I like Big Red
Yep.
one.
Call of Duty 2. Call of Duty cast with ONSP. But Reagan and I did just shoot a OSP forum that's coming out pretty soon, probably this week, on consoles, and we talked about how PS4 and Xbox One, they're new and all, but they're not really doing that great. They're not really anything special.
Mm-hmm. But they've still sold better than any other console in history, which is sad.
Well, I think there's more people buying games now.
Yeah,
I think
that's what it is, but it's still sad.
Yeah, yeah. They're gonna look back in history and be like, "Oh, these 2 consoles, they were the best selling ever." But they were pretty crap.
Yeah.
But yeah, we did just do the forum talking about how they've been doing since their release last fall. Shauna, do you have any of the next gen consoles? Do you have an Xbox One or PS4?
I do not.
You're a PC player.
For the most part, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's your answer right there to the problem. There's PC's way better.
Right. I mean, when the
consoles.
consoles have to start using PC parts without being able to call themselves PCs, it's a PC world now. Like, it's just they're bad renditions of a computer.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing I was talking about is they don't when you look at like the PS2, developers were using the new technology to invent new types of gameplay and things that people hadn't seen.
Exactly.
Like a year after the release of the PS2, we had Metal Gear Solid 2, Silent Hill 2, Devil May Cry, Grand Theft Auto 3, tons of really like genre-defining classic games. What does the PS4 have a year after launch?
The same stuff.
Exactly, the same stuff as last generation, slightly dolled up.
Xbox is the same way.
And old PS3 games that are being remastered.
And like what I don't understand is not only do they do that, but the games don't work half the time. And you still have to do like this, what is it, the fee for the online crap.
Yeah.
And it's
DRM.
like, no, like none of this is okay anymore. None of this is console anymore.
Then you gotta download 50 gigs of it.
Yeah, and we were talking about that too, how the advantage of console gaming used to be you could slap the disc in your system and start playing.
And then that's it, yeah.
Whereas with PC, you had to install it, and you had to mess with your drivers and all that stuff. You have to do the same stuff on console now, so there's no advantage to it.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm, like, the Wii isn't my favorite console, but let's face it, it opened a lot of doors, and it's still reliable.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
so reliable. So
are we talking about the Wii U or the Wii?
The Wii.
The Wii, yeah. Well, and it was the only thing that did anything unique.
That's what I'm saying. It opened a lot of doors. It wasn't the best, but it gave so many ideas.
And I feel the same way about the Wii U.
Yeah, I haven't played it, but I'm
yeah.
really excited about it, and I'm going to get one.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the consoles, they, well, I forgot what I was going to say.
But, yeah, like the Wii U, it's that instance of technology and creativity kind of coming in this marriage to make great games. It's using its new technology to create types of gameplay that have never been seen, like in Zombie U, which is, when people bitch about survival horror being gone, I call them out on it because nobody bought Zombie U. Because it is a straight-up survival horror game, and it's great. But when you like have to get something out of your inventory, your character opens up their backpack and puts it on the ground, and you have to look down at the gamepad to get something out of your inventory.
That's awesome.
So there were tons of moments where I was like looking down at the gamepad, shuffling through my inventory, and then I look up and there's a zombie right in front of me on the screen. Like that's a new type of gameplay that they use that technology to create, and that's what I want the next generation of consoles to be about, and they just aren't delivering.
Damn.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. Because, like, it's a shame. It's a shame that I used to be able to not buy games. Well, I didn't buy games on PC before because I didn't know if it would work on my PC. And now I'm saying the same thing about the current gen consoles. I'll buy a, for Xbox One game. Don't know if it's going to work or not. But
yeah,
we'll see.
and on PC, when a game doesn't work, there's usually something you can tweak or something you can fix or somebody else
Right,
can fix for you.
there's so many
on
settings
the console,
you
you're
can
just
do.
fucked.
Or, this is what I love, if something's broken about your PC, you replace the part, not the PC.
Yeah,
Like,
that too.
I don't want to have to ship my Red Ring of Death Xbox bullcrap and then get it a week later and it's still broken because they didn't fix it correctly, and then have to get a new one or have to buy a new one.
Yep.
Like, no. If my hard drive doesn't work, I'm going to replace my hard drive.
Yeah, and the other thing is, if you have enough computer knowledge, you can fix it yourself. Like, my SSD died, like, last week or 2 weeks ago.
Oh.
So I pulled the thing out, pulled it apart, and fixed it.
Exactly.
You can't do that with an Xbox.
No, God, no.
You just can't.
My power supply burned out last year.
Ooh,
I had to completely take it out and replace it, yeah.
Yeah, that's one that you can't just fix.
No, you can't fix it. You do
also
have to buy it, but see, you can buy the part. I didn't have to replace my whole PC.
Right.
Yeah, but that's another one that, like, if that fucks up, it can take down other stuff with it too.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to fix it, like, as soon as possible.
Yeah, faulty power supplies are scary.
Especially when I started hearing this. I'm like, crap.
Oh, God.
Definitely. Yeah.
But yeah, it's a shame. So seeing these poor old consoles not doing too well, but I don't know. Things can get better. We mentioned in the forum that the Steam machines are on their way soon, sometime, and I think they're really going to set the bar. They're going to, or at least the higher end ones, because it's just like what 20 million of them now.
There's Falcon Northwest has 3, Asus has 2. I don't think any of the big graphics card manufacturers like Nvidia or
I think Razer has no. Does Razer have a Steam box? Or no,
wouldn't surprise me. I don't know.
I know Alienware has a Steam box.
Alienware has a couple.
Someone's gonna push the specs and make it, set the bar for quality really high with the technology, and so things are gonna change. If Sony and Microsoft have to make a whole nother new console, then so be it. It's
well,
their
and
money, not mine.
the Steam machines are modular too. A lot of them are modular. You can pull parts out and put new stuff in.
That's right.
And the other thing is there's different tiers. There's no like cheaper PS4 with lower
basically
specs.
Living room PCs.
Yeah, it offers all of the advantages of a console with all of the advantages of a PC and none of the drawbacks of the console.
Right.
Less of the drawbacks of a PC. So, I mean, it's... If the problem is advertisement, if they can get it out to the consumers... Because the only reason the PS4 and Xbox One have sold over PCs is because they've advertised to the right consumer group.
They have to give people a reason to buy Steam machines other than tech alone.
Right, and they have to hit that market of people that don't play video games like hardcore. It's more of just I came home from a hard day at work, I want to kick back and play a match of Call of Duty. Those are the people they have to target. And
I feel like the Steam has that in mind, and the best of yet, Steam machines will have Steam OS, so yes. God bless. I think Valve already has it in their minds because they're making the Hive, or I think that's what's called their new VR with HTC. And from what I've seen, the Hive so far is that it's not mostly about games. They're mostly promoting the Hive in more VR AR situations, alternate reality situations that are non-gaming related. So I think they already have that on mind. And if they have that same mentality about the Steam machine, then it really can be like a machine for everybody. Like you can watch movies on it, play games on it, do whatever.
I agree. Have either of you gotten to try out the controllers?
No,
I've not.
I want one.
I like them. They're pretty cool with the dual haptic feedback pads.
They look really good. I feel like
it was really comfortable to hold, and then those little haptic feedback pads work a lot better than they look like they do.
Oh, that's good. I was mostly really worried about the responsiveness between those pads.
It works a lot better than you'd expect it to. And plus, having that, you have the control stick for movement and whatever, but having that haptic feedback pad for games that need that more precise control on PC, like RTS or whatever, things that are more suited to a mouse, it works well for that too. So you have the best of both worlds.
Good.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
That's very exciting.
Yep.
That's pretty much the only thing I imagine using the control. Like I have a gamepad for my PC, but the only thing I was really worried about was RTSs because I played Civilization all the time. So. Mm-hmm.
It works. It works. I played it with. I tried it with 3 games. I tried it with Half-Life 2, XCOM, and Civ. It works really, really well for Civ.
Nice. That's exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Good to see. Good to see that kind of thing being made. Once again, you can't go wrong with Steam and Valve. I don't praise them enough.
And it's because the way their development's housed, they just let their employees do what they want. They just say, "Hey, here's money. Go make something cool," and they make cool things.
Speaking of Valve, Gabe Newell said something. I don't know if it was recently or not, but it was something about Half-Life 3. It was basically like, because you know, everybody's wanting Half-Life 3, and basically he said that, no Half-Life.
Mm-hmm.
And I think. It's weird because they said Gabe said he was more concerned about like shipping because apparently there's some shipping issue with Portal 2 and whatever other game. So I feel like right now they're trying to get into a place where Valve particularly trying to get into a place where they pretty much dominate everything and then they can just make whatever games they want.
Yeah. Well, and Valve's also the reason they're waiting, Valve's also been about this kind of marriage of technology and design that I've been talking about. So I think they've got the talent, they've got the good designers. I think they're waiting for some new technology or something to catch up to where they can make something really special. Instead of just cranking out a well-designed game, they want a well-designed game that sets the bar.
Right. They're not they won't short anything. If they don't if they don't have faith in the quality of something, that's not going to happen.
Which I wish a lot of developers
I love it. I love that mentality.
They're not above completely scrapping a game that doesn't work either.
Good. So Valve hopefully going to take over the world soon. That's okay with me. Valve, Google, they can have all my money. But the consoles now aren't really doing really good, and one of the biggest issues because of that, and that really affects the whole industry as large, is that the consoles aren't backwards compatible.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, now we have a shit ton of remastered games coming out. And it's pissing me off.
Well, and that's another advantage of PC. On my computer, I can play games from 1985 if I want.
Now,
I still play Star Wars Battlefront on my computer.
Let's take like a side note to remember that emulators are a thing.
Yes. You have to run it on DOSBox.
So...
But still.
Another good thing about PCs is you can play your N64, your PlayStation, maybe your PlayStation 2.
There are DS emulators.
DS.
Too on PC,
They work
so.
surprisingly well too.
A lot.
pretty much play
Basically,
anything on PC.
everything up to the Wii and Nintendo you can play on your PC.
Yeah, well, you can play Wii games.
Can you?
On PC. Yeah,
Jesus.
Dolphin.
There's a mod for that.
There's a
Dolphin
mod for
lets
that.
you run Wii. Well, and the thing about it that's so cool is that like GameCube was a console that focused more on artistic style than it did fancy graphics. So with the Dolphin emulator, you can scale those games up to 1080p. And I tell you, seeing some of those GameCube games in 1080p is gorgeous.
Dude, the sharpness on those polygons.
Yeah, it's a sight to see. So and there's also this common misconception. I don't know why. There's this misconception that emulators are illegal. They're not.
No.
Downloading games that you don't own is illegal. But like, if I have a copy of Metal Gear Solid sitting on my shelf, I can download an ISO of Metal Gear Solid, and that's completely legal.
Yeah.
I wasn't
Or
sure
even
one
just
way or
rip
another.
it to my computer.
That's strange.
I was just informing that emulators are a thing.
Yes, they are, and they're
Not legal,
a pretty awesome thing.
Yeah, no, so already this whole remastered thing is not even a PC issue. So PC Master Race, you guys just chill for the next few minutes while we discuss the problems the console people are having.
Yeah, well, and that's another funny thing is when, because there have been multiple times where developers were bringing last gen games to next gen consoles, and they're like, no, you should definitely buy it even if you had the last one because we've added all these improvements. And then PC gamers were like,
Right.
then why aren't you releasing it on PC as well?
Right.
So
Yeah, that's so. Getting into it, there's a few more remastered collections and stuff coming out. I mentioned that the Handsome Collection for Borderlands coming out, which is of course Borderlands 2 pre-sequel. I don't know if Borderlands 2 is like up-resed or anything. I don't know if they changed anything to Borderlands 2, but it's basically coming in with that collection and all the DLC. Now it looks like that God of War 3 is coming to the PlayStation 4.
Yep.
Just God of War
Now,
3.
yeah, I was
it
about to
seems?
say, Why?
Let me pull up because we actually did an article on.
I'm going to defend this one, actually.
It's just God of War 3.
I'm going to defend
not
this
the whole
one.
sequel.
Because God of War 3, but God of War 3 came towards like the beginning of the PlayStation's lifespan. So there may have been people who had a PS3 that didn't play it. Also, the next gen version of it is 1080p 60 FPS. So depending on what price they release it at, I'm going to defend that one. If they go above $20, I'm out. But
Okay, that's fair.
But
No,
it's
yeah.
just God of War 3. It's like...
no, because it moves better. 60 FPS. And for action games, that's a big deal.
Okay, so
Yeah.
the word remastered means you're mastering what's already been done. Why don't they
Yeah.
do that to 1 and 2?
They already have the HD version of 1 and 2. So yeah, it's
Oh, do they really?
So they've
Yeah,
so they've
there's-
already remastered it?
Oh, because I know why.
There's
Yeah,
the God of War saga on PS3 that's 1
Okay.
and 2, and then
Right.
both
Yeah,
PSP
the first two games didn't come out on PS4
Yeah.
or PS3. Excuse me. Yeah, I mean, I get that, but like, it's like for me, unless it's like a console or a generation or two behind. Like if it was last generation, then we don't need remastered versions.
I feel the same
Yeah.
way.
That's
I think
my,
it's
that's my
it's more the time that's passed between the games. Because last generation we had lots of remasters of
I guess
PS2
that's-
games that I really defend. But the other thing is they were doing collections. They weren't just doing a single
Right,
game.
right.
They were doing the Metal Gear Solid collection, which was 2 and 3, and Peace Walker, which was previously a PSP game. So you got the dual stick control, so that was a big improvement. Devil May Cry, which was running at 60 FPS, which is a big deal for that series because it's an action game that has really precise control, big combos, things like that. So they were remastering games that needed a remaster, not just things that they thought would sell.
Right. Well, that's a good point because there's so many different sides to this thing in general. Because it's been done differently. Of course, we've seen The Last of Us remaster, which is literally the same thing.
Yeah.
I don't
just different
understand.
graphics. There's no difference between The Last of Us.
Well,
remastered.
there's 1080p 60 FPS, but that was a game that had come out a year prior.
Right.
When they
were a
released
year-
the remaster.
Right. Of course, now we have GTA 5 for remastered. We can't say anything about the PC, but the PC will have some features that aren't in any other games.
They did the next gen version of GTA 5 did add new content as well, and
Right.
a
I
large
was about to
amount of
say.
it.
Yeah, they added a bunch of new single player content. So those are kind of acceptable.
I don't know.
Or GTA is
I'm
acceptable.
kind of. I don't know. Like if I guess I'm with Reagan. It depends on the price. If I have to pay full price for the same game,
right?
But it being remastered, why didn't you just decide to put all this crap in there to begin with? Like,
yeah,
right?
If it could have just been
you
like
knew
DLC
better. You're
or...
not stupid. Wait a year, put it in right, and then move on. Like
it's almost...
And the thing with God of War is the last time I played God of War was when it launched, which was I was in like 6th grade. That was a long time ago. So if they upscale it to 1080p and give it 60 FPS, I'm willing to cough up $10-$20 for that. Full price, absolutely not. But $10-$20, yeah, I'm willing to cough
yeah, it's like we're paying $60 for these games anyway. Like,
right. In most cases of this, it's blatantly clear that they just are trying to get some more money.
Yeah.
And just trying to get their game more places so they can get more revenue.
I don't understand what Borderlands is doing. I love Borderlands to death, but come on, like really?
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah,
I'm
we'll
waiting for them to start remastering games from the current generation. Like at the end of the generation, once devs have figured out how the tech works.
Call of Duty Advanced Warfare HD.
Yeah, exactly. Or just remaster it with a higher frame rate and better sound or whatever.
Oh man, that's it's I'm really against remastered versions. Like I get like the Zelda games, they've been remastered. They're decades old. God of War is pretty old too. I'll let that one slip. Last of Us completely unacceptable.
Yeah, no, I don't understand that. That blew my mind. I did not know that too.
I mean, if I get that, like they have new people, they have new PS4 owners that didn't own PS3s, but most people who own PS4 own PS3. I imagine, and so they probably already played it, and now they're just gonna pay the same price for the same experience.
And I think that's another aspect of console gaming that Nintendo set the bar in. They're doing good remakes. Like Wind Waker HD, that's 2 console generations back. And that's a game that looks really good. Because when you take it from 480p to 1080p, that's a big difference. And then the Majora's Mask, Ocarina of Time, that's like 3 console generations back. And they completely changed the animations. They updated the visual engine, which is good because the N64 was during that awkward period of how do we do this? Mm-hmm. So all of the games looked garbage on it.
I still love it.
I do too, but the games just look god-awful. So those were 2 games that were in need of that remaster to introduce it to a new audience. A new audience probably wouldn't want to play... If you think about a kid who grew up on a PS2 or whatever,
right,
probably wouldn't want to play an N64 game, and I can't necessarily blame him for that. Whereas when they gussy it up and make the animations improved and make it look like a modern game, then they can jump into that. Or even Super Mario 64 on the DS... a launch title, they updated the animations, they added new characters, they added new stars. Anytime Nintendo remakes something, there's a reason for it. They're not just grabbing a cash.
Yeah, they're pretty good about that. I think another good example of a good remaster would be the Halo series so far.
Yeah.
The Halo 1 anniversary was sort of just like a texture and image up-res. Mm-hmm. But Halo 2 anniversary, they redid all the cutscenes, the sounds, animations, everything, and it's very, very good, well done.
And the big deal for me on that is that's another game that needed to be remade because at the time it was a very multiplayer-heavy game, but Xbox Live really wasn't all that popular. It existed, but when Halo 2 launched, I was a big fan of the multiplayer, but I didn't have Xbox Live in my house. I didn't have any way to set that up. So now I can go and play that Halo 2 multiplayer that I loved in a bigger setting with more players instead of just me and one friend on a couch running around this big map that wasn't really made for 2 people.
Yeah.
It's another game that needed that remake.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I mean, obviously it's I don't think it needs to be happening anymore. It's obviously picking up more and more and more because what this is basically doing is just more people are spending money on things that aren't changing. Like it's the same thing. Like before, we had sequels every year, Call of Duty every year. That minor improvements, not a lot of different. It's the same game. Now we have literally the same game being re-released
at
full
point.
price.
I didn't think about that. That's funny.
It's a trend that's not helping anybody.
No, it's not. And with budgets getting as inflated as they are, I mean, I understand that they need to squeak that extra few dollars out of that big shiny game they released last year.
Yeah.
But here's an idea. Cut $300,000 off the budget and don't texture every single fucking piece of concrete. How about that one?
With more and more re-releases, remasters, whatever, we're not going to see anything new.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully this isn't a trend for very long.
I don't know. I'm thinking this is here to stay.
Because we just had Devil May Cry 2 released last week, but
Yep.
that was a week before, but that was a bit different. That wasn't just
It added new content.
Yeah.
My thing
But
is, we're still in the Devil May Cry series. Like, we're still understanding it. We're still learning from it. We're still getting new games. Like, I don't like that now I'm having to see Devil May Cry 2 while another Devil May Cry that I haven't caught up on is being released.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Well,
I'm just all confused and upset and...
Yeah. Well, and with how stagnant games have become anyway, with the, quote, new games basically just being the same games anyway, and then they're releasing games that literally are the same games on top of it, it's just going to keep stagnating and stagnating and stagnating.
Yeah, like when are we going to give Game of the Year to a remastered game?
Right, exactly.
Like, draw the line, people.
Yep. Agreed.
But I mean, it is a good thing for a lot of games. I get that. It's a weird topic.
There are games that it is good for, and then there are games that it's not, and knowing the difference is the key.
Yeah, I think so. Don't be greedy. That's the message. That's today's message from the podcast.
Mm-hmm. Don't be like Capcom and release Resident Evil on every single platform every time it comes out ever. That game has been released like 6 times now. Let's see.
It's had like, what, 3 remakes?
Original PlayStation release. Director's Cut on PlayStation. DS remake. GameCube remake. Port of GameCube remake. That's how many times... That game has been released 5 different times. The same game. And I'm sure I'm missing one, too. There's probably one that I forgot. It's one of the best games ever made. But that doesn't mean they need to release it 5 times in a row. What was funny about that?
No, it was fine. But I think we want to wrap up pretty soon. We've been pretty slow on the channel specifically. We haven't had a lot of games to first impressions, stuff like that. Plus, I can't record Shelter because Fraps is being crap.
Did you get Shelter too?
It's in our account.
I heard it was crap.
It's pretty crap.
All right.
I didn't like Shelter 1 because it didn't really feel like a game.
Yeah.
And in Shelter 2 there's like even less to do. Like what they did in Shelter 2 is that they added free roam, but there's nothing to do. Like there's no goals. Mm-hmm. Like you literally just go kill animals and then feed your babies until your babies leave. It's like, all right, later.
It was like that's another thing like Lucius and Lucius 2 where like the first game was interesting but not particularly great, and I was like, okay, let's see if they can refine it and make it something really good in the second one, and then they botched it.
I'm not getting those hours back, guys. Like, I lost hours that I'm not getting back, and I gained nothing from except a pure hatred for that name.
But I mean, Shelter's. I guess since I'm not doing a first impressions, I'll throw a little bit of Shelter knowledge at you. The first Shelter's really fun. You play as a honey badger, and it's sort of like linear narrative with challenges along the way, like like to dodge an eagle or something.
Yeah.
But in Shelter 2, you play a lynx, and you have to protect your little babies. But it's free roam, and there's different like zones, and different animals and collectibles.
Yeah.
And so, that's all you do.
Yeah, I'm also getting tired of this idea that everything has to be open world.
Yeah.
I'm getting a little sick of that.
Like, I feel like if Shelter 2 wasn't open world and more, like, actual goals and, like, linear, I'd be fine with that. Yeah. But it's cool to see. I mean, it's still decent, but it's really boring.
Yeah. Did either of you play Tokyo Jungle?
No.
Oh. Have either of you heard of it?
Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It reminds me of that. I like Tokyo Jungle a lot.
Nice. But yeah, like I was saying, there hasn't been much on the channel. We've been pretty bad. But we are... The podcast and the forums hopefully set in stone. So podcasts will be out every Monday. Forums twice a week. We're recording that. Expect to see first impressions whenever we get them. We also have a lot more of most anticipated to do. We probably haven't seen our most anticipated videos in a while. Not since February. But we do have a few more of those to pump out for this year. Most anticipated games of 2015. and they'll come out whenever.
Yep.
That's sort of not in our hands.
Yeah, and next month, once we've kind of cleared the most anticipated stuff, we're kicking around ideas for some new stuff to do on the channel. So there's new stuff coming.
There's a lot of stuff we want to do. So,
Yeah.
and if there's anything you want to see or you want us to talk about, please let us know. We want to communicate with you people who
Definitely.
watch us. And then E3. I don't know if Trip booked our hotel, but hopefully things are rolling on the E3 train.
Yep.
That'll be fun. But so there hasn't been much here from us, but more definitely coming. We can assure you. But then this has been a podcast. I'm Justin. With me, Reagan and Shauna.
Yep.
Should you say something?
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.